Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister for Water. Despite some generally welcome rain last week, Victoria has been experiencing ongoing dry conditions and well below average rainfall for well over a year. The CSIRO predicts that in Victoria, droughts are projected to become longer and more intense, with more time being spent under drought conditions. The hotter, drier weather has seen daily household water usage rise, while our water storage levels have decreased from 86 to approximately 75%, with inflows well below the 30-year average. In her forward to the Victorian Annual Water Outlook, the Minister said predicted, quote, the increasing likelihood of water restrictions in 2026. So I ask, will data centres be subject to the same sort of water restrictions as the rest of us when they inevitably kick in?
Minister.
Thank you, President, and I thank the member for his ongoing interest in water and indeed the scarcity of water. And as the member would be aware, and the chamber certainly should be aware, that there are a number of initiatives that this government has put in place. And it is timely that we have the former Minister for Water in the gallery, and she obviously is chairing the task force that we have established alongside another former Minister for Water, Peter Walsh, looking at a whole range of issues in terms of water security in this state. And of course, it's timely because of the situation that we're in, but we also know that there are issues in terms of the gap between rainfall and what can be expected now and into the future. So all that work is starting. And is well underway, and of course that report will be provided in early 2027. But we're not waiting on the work that is being done by that task force. There are a number of other initiatives that are in place, and you might have noticed the campaign that is currently underway, which is Every Drop Counts, because we do believe that it is timely for us to make sure that the community is more than aware of the situation that we have in terms of our storage levels. We're also, of course, wanting the community to understand the water saving provisions that have been in place for some time, but I think a lot of people have forgotten about that. So that's why we've also brought the Every Drop Counts campaign to the fore, so that we can raise the consciousness and change the habits of the community. And we're encouraging the community to be a lot more sparing in terms of their water usage. In terms of the issue of water restrictions, there have been water restrictions in different locations at different times, and this is an ongoing management issue that the Water Corps deal with in terms of their local communities, and it's based on advice at the time. In terms of the issue that you particularly raise, is not the first time that you have raised this issue, and in fact it's been subject to a motion before the House this morning. This is a matter that is very active in the space of water, and as I have reported, there is work that is being done within the department with Vic Water and others that are key to the sector in looking at all sorts of different ways that we can look at data centres and their usage of water in particular, but also, of course, being well informed about what's happening in other jurisdictions, and indeed the other element to it is the technology and the technological advances that are in place, that are being used by a variety of
Minister,
different
time's expired.
data centres.
Mr Ettershank, supplementary.
Thank you very much, Minister. That was really informative and is genuinely appreciated. I think you've answered my supplementary, so perhaps I might just ask for a clarification, if I may. We've heard about the Sustainable Data Centre Action Plan, and I'm just a little confused in terms of, perhaps you could just explain to us, there's a task force, which I've not heard of before. You referenced a little while back the expert panel with DECA and Vic Water. And I'm just wondering, how do those two fit with the Sustainable Data Action Plan and how that will be rolling out? Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you, President. So the task force that involves former ministers and also experts when it comes to water is primarily looking at What do we do? What are the options? And all options are on the table, which I think is a breakthrough for the water sector. What do we do about the gap that we know is between rainfall and usage, and the forecasts that are associated with all of that? So that's the task that they essentially have. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but I'm more than happy to have you briefed in respect to the work of that task force. And of course, their report will come to government in the first quarter of 2027. Now, the reason that it's coming to government in 2027 is that I have and will continue to say in every forum, water is too important to play politics with. And I don't want their good work that is being
Sorry, Minister,
undertaken.
time's expired. Mr Davis, a question, please.